Peace, family.
Peace. Don't forget to speak into your mic.
Good morning. Good morning. Sunday Sitting with Sisters. We're happy to see you today. I'm so blessed to be here with my sister Rolanda, Earth Mama Healing. We got a guest today, our Queen Tony from Understanding the Black Man, and she's going to share a little bit about that. So, Ro, how's your week been?
My week's been great. I'm all loud, huh?
No, that's
cool.
cool.
This mic half the time, but you know the church gets started, girl. You're gonna need a mic. Right. So anyway, if you're not really loud, people are like we can't hear you. You know. So my week has been great. A lot of awesome stuff happening. But yesterday, you know, I have this Nurturing Greatness internship program. Mm-hmm. So already I've interviewed 12 young people who want to be. I'm doing 25. I'm gonna do 20 to 25 young people. Okay. But these young people were the bomb. Like they were so brilliant. Like I think I was just like, I mean, you know, our kids are brilliant, but sometimes we don't get to see those kids. Right. We get to see the kids that's in trouble, and you know, the man and the Black Lives Matter. But these are young people that's about their business, and so the major part of the Nurturing Greatness program is to bring Black youth across the city, so from Elk Grove all the way through Sacramento out to the North area, together to work on different projects, but mainly because they had some of them actually wrote like cover letters with their app, but basically they really want to know about Black and particularly African American history. That's what they said, African American. So I was like, wow, you know, of course I'm going to throw a little bit of everything in there, but to hear them talk about it was like, I think a lot of our kids may want that, but I think sometimes we always push that kid. It's like, I'm an American. Like we push that BS line. Yeah. But I met one young man, his name was Jah is Real. But spelled like Jah is real, not Israel, like the country.
Yeah, Jah is Real. So he was, nice name.
So he was talking about really wanting to know more about history and our culture. And I was like, but your parents they couldn't have been too asleep because your name is Jah is Real. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. So it's just beautiful. So I'm excited about working. They made me feel excited. I was just like, okay, one of the young ladies, her father is Jamaican, her mom is African American. And it was just like, so I have a couple of more interviews this week. I think I have like about 10 more, and then we get started this coming Saturday. So this is like my 5th year doing this, so I'm so excited. But they just made me feel pumped. But I also think it's the time. Yes. I think it's the Donald Trump effect. We got the Obama effect, and we got the Donald Trump effect, or the Trump effect. And I think he's made it so tight in here like a pickle. You know what I mean? That now we got to touch each other. Like, I don't really deal with those people. Now all these people got to get together. Because now this man is like, I don't get none of y'all. So, you know, so anyway, I had to tell you that. I just thought they just made my day. I mean, I'm always hopeful, but they made me feel really hopeful. Like, wow, like we got to up our game as the keepers of this thing. Right. You know, we got to do that. So anywho, so that's what's going on. Okay. That's what's going on. I'm so psyched. So tell us about our guest. Introduce our guest.
This is Tony. Tony gonna introduce herself, and I know that's probably a little bit rude, but we on Sunday Sitting with Sisters. Tony, I'm gonna tell you that I believe that she is a phenomenal woman. She has a great and beautiful spirit. She has a humbleness about her. I'm gonna say that we immediately connected before we connected. Yeah. Yeah, we really, and I felt the moment. You were in one of the workshops. Yeah. And and she actually came and she spoke at the workshop, but it was when you were in the audience, and I don't know, I felt that energy. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Sisters. Yeah. Yes. So anyway, and she has a great platform. It's called Understanding the Black Man, and I'm in awe with her about why she started it. So anyway, please share, Queen.
Well, I'm still waking up. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
So my brain's a little foggy because of that. Sunday morning is early. So I started a platform. Let me back up. I go by T Speaks online. I started a platform called Understanding the Black Man, which you can find on my Facebook page. I'll be tagged in this video. And I pretty much just interview Black men, just everyday Black men who want to, change their communities, impact their communities. I just got tired of seeing like the everyday narrative of Black men being just portrayed as like the thugs in social media, being portrayed as like the athletes, you know what I'm saying? Like they got 17 baby mamas. Is it okay if I cut?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And just scoot up to the mic a little bit.
Okay.
Because I'm
Is that
loud.
better?
There you go.
Yeah. So I just got tired of like just seeing that, and I was like, how can I change the way that I view black men? I have to interview the everyday black men and get their story. So I started understanding the black man. And I'll stop there.
So what did you find? I just want to jump into it.
Okay.
What did you discover about the everyday black man? Because you're right, we have about maybe, if we look at the particular 5 stereotypes of black men,
Right.
what are those 5 stereotypes? Athlete, rapper, jailbird,
I call them
That's great.
hobosexuals.
homosexuals. Okay, what is a homosexual?
No, not Jello. That's another.
Oh, they
category.
have
Okay,
another
what's a
category.
homosexual?
A
I think I may
A
know.
homosexual is a man that gets with a woman because he's homeless, he needs somewhere to sleep, and he just has good sex
have
with
heard
her.
of that.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I have heard.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's a
I think I've known some
stereotype.
too. Okay, wow, that's
Fun.
wow. Who's the 5th one?
Abuser. We got abusers out
Abusers. Oh wow.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So what did you discover beyond those 5? Because you interviewed, and I love the way you put that. Now, you know, I have humor a little bit and everything.
Yeah.
What did you discover from the everyday? Because I'm thinking about, I have brothers and none of them fit any of those. Thank God. My mother was not about that life like that.
Yeah. I discovered that black men have a scarlet letter on them because they are black. And because they're men. I discovered
What's a scarlet letter for some of us who don't make that?
a scarlet letter is like just like a branding on you that's like, because I'm a black man, like I'm lower than everybody else in society
Bring your mic to my ear.
because I'm a black man.
Right.
Is that better?
Yep, that's perfect.
And so I discovered that they love their children. There's also the other one, the other stereotype, that black men don't love their children, they don't love their families, they walk away. Black men love their children, black men are family men, black men have feelings. That's another stereotype, is that black men don't have feelings, I discovered. And black men love black women. That's also been a stereotype that I've been able to debunk, is that black men actually love the black woman and they want to see the black family win.
All right,
Yeah.
right. That's what's up. So, with discovering that, what are you hoping to gain from people seeing the other forms? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, those first 5 you named,
Yeah.
they're very real. So I don't want to act like they Phantom of the Opera. But those other men that we don't see, what are you hoping to people to gain from your knowledge that you learned from these men?
That number one, there are unicorns that still exist, ladies. The black men are out there, and you just have to you have to do the inner work. So I know this is kind of deviating from your question, but
No.
we as black women, I believe that black women are the key to healing our community. I really do. If we can get in front of our sex lives, if we can get in front of our money situation, our finances, if we can get in front of our spirituality, then we can be, on the forefront for what the black men really need and want. Because otherwise, we're just going to continue to go down in society, and we're never going to be the best that we can be as a community. And so black women, we need to get in front of our lives so that we can attract a black man that can help us continue to move forward in society. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, but I can see in your reality, you will make a black feminist very real.
But I'm not a feminist, though.
No, not you.
Okay.
You will make a black feminist very real.
What does that mean?
Well, basically, it feels like you're putting a lot of responsibility on the black woman for the black man, when the black man is responsible for the black man. I'm always looking for the balance. And I think what makes feminists real is that we have all of the, when black women could do this, then black men would do that. But it doesn't work like that.
Mm-hmm.
It really doesn't. We're twin halves of the same whole. So that means black men have to be accountable for their own actions, how they live. The same way you're asking me to be accountable, he has to do the same thing.
I agree, but it all starts with me. And since I'm a woman,
So the woman is first, and not the man.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that black women are the key to healing our community. A black man cannot do what a black woman won't let him do.
That's not true. That's not true, sis. I'm sorry. You're going to get that debate for me.
Debate.
No, I'm serious. I feel like,
She's like,
no. I feel like, cause I'd be right there with people, but then it's kind of like that we're yin and yang. Like, I love the fact that you're doing this, but I wish a black man could be here because sometimes in our translation, we lose something. Like, if a black man was to say to me what you just said, I'd be like, are you kidding me? Because I know black men, even if they're not with their child's mother, they know it is their responsibility to stay connected the best way they can. It's not for somebody to say, but, I just know even in our language, we have a way of making women be on the hook so much that because no other race says that to their women. It's your responsibility, white woman, for the white man to be. The white man's like, I'm running this thing. This man went all over the globe conquering people. Not because the white woman said, I'm giving you permission to go conquer people. He was like, that's in my nature. That's what I do. I don't think the black man is no different than any other man. But I do think there has to be somewhat of a balance there.
There's a balance. That's why I'm just speaking from a woman's point of view. From
the woman that you are point of view.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I'm still in discovery mode of all this. I just, I just came into this understanding of the black man situation in January.
What do you mean when you say the black man situation in January? Help me out.
Okay, so let's backtrack. I didn't have a father growing up.
Okay.
I'm 33, I struggled in relationships, and I was like, how can I get in front of, this relationship situation with the black man? I want to be with one, I want to value one, I want to, understand. So that is also another reason why I started understanding the black man. So this discovery is literally 9 months old.
Gotcha. I'll take that.
However, in my discovery in interviewing black men, the majority of them have told me that, number one, we're not going to do something that a black woman won't let us do. So if a black woman, for example, wants to sleep with us on the first date, we're going to hit that.
But here's my thing. I get that. I totally get that. But I also know black men who did not do that. Who was like, I have so much respect for myself that I could never do that to you because I have a daughter, I have a mother, I will never disrespect black. And some of them happen to be Muslim men that I know because maybe you have to come from a principal, I don't know. And it's kind of like saying, I know some black women who do it to men on the first date, but I'm not one of them. So you understand what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, and I'm agreeing with what you're saying. I think it's the way in which I'm hearing it.
It could be the way in which I'm delivering it. I am putting a lot of responsibility on
the woman. But we do that as women. I am
putting a lot of responsibility on the woman because I believe, we're the carriers and we can't allow a man inside of us unless we allow him inside of us.
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
And that's why I put the responsibility.
Yeah, but I also think it has to be balanced because too many single women raising their sons have that same excuse when their son go out and do immoral things, and then immediately instead of looking at my son, she got pregnant. Oh, so he wasn't hitting it?
Oh, that's a different dynamic.
No, but I think it's the same dynamic because it's the same mindset where we put all the responsibility on her. It's the same exact thing. I know there's layers to it, but at the bottom, at the end of the day, it's language. Like, for instance, so you just told me that you didn't grow up with your dad. I wonder if a woman who did grow up with her dad and a loving father, would she have look for the same things that you're looking for because she's not lacking not having a positive male model in her life. So for her, she wouldn't be looking for what can I do. She would look like, how do we make this stronger because she's already been in that kind of, she knows what it's like to get love from a man. So she doesn't have to look for other men's opinion of what you should be doing as a woman. That's all I'm saying. I think your opinion is very valid, but I also think when you look at our society, we got to stop this thing of pitting everything on a woman because that's why black women who do it all by themselves because they're supposed to die young. They don't live, people who I know who live a long time, they really do have very supportive husbands and they do whatever their husbands tell them to do. It ain't like she running stuff, he running stuff. And that's because she don't have to think about everything. She really doesn't.
You're running a mile. That's our goal, me.
No, you're doing good, sis. I want to hear the information.
That's your perspective. It's really good to hear different people's perspective. I think that this is a really good balance, and we have comments.
Go ahead, get your comments.
But if you guys want to,
no, okay. Good. Go ahead.
So, Peace family, we're here with Queen Tony. TL Speaks, Earth Mama Healing. We have a few comments.
Go ahead.
Peace says, Ashe finances, get in front for our babies.
I agree with that.
Yes. Peace, Queen Vanessa, accountability for real. She also goes on to say, right on, the excuse is she won't let me see my child. And she's saying that they need to step up. Ia also says, once a black woman gives birth as a single mother, they must come first, my opinion. I assume she's talking about the children.
I agree with that.
Okay, and then Tamika Joy goes on to say, I think it's more to each its own. And I'm not sure, Tamika, break it. Okay, maybe she is going to break it down.
Yeah, I think she said
okay, and then we got Queen Colette says, I'm with you, Ro. The black man is responsible for himself, not me. I am responsible for myself, not him. Now, I do agree that as the mothers of civilizations, we have a huge stake in building about our societal change, not the change of the black man. Tamika says, as a parent of all male children, I raised them to be responsible for themselves. Don't wait for anyone else to make it happen for you, and accept no one's excuses for your life as it's yours. And then Vanessa goes on to say, I am no longer captain, build a man. His mama and daddy should have done that task before he became a man.
All right.
Colette says she loves this discussion. Having different opinions is good and healthy.
That's right.
That is how we learn.
Right on, right on. So let me ask you this, because I agree. No, because I agree with what you're saying. I think it's always a choice of word. Because here's the thing: I'm not a feminist. I'm around a lot of feminists.
I'm not a feminist.
I'm not a
I'm cool with it. I have lots of friends who are feminists. I ain't gonna lie. Women
too.
who I know who rock it the hardest and be down and won't, say I can't do something because some dick came up, something like that.
Right.
I really don't care rocking it too long because I got to get my work done. However, when I'm listening to them talk, no, honestly, I can feel like there's a lot of I have not been valued and I have been put on the back burner, and that's why I'm a feminist. And I always say to myself, to each his own. I love when my sister says that, whatever floats your boat. But I just also know there's other things there that I can never be a feminist because my mother I worked for feminists, and they treated me like shit. So even though I was a woman and they was a woman, matter of fact, we were black women, they still treated me like a white person would treat me. So I just think feminism for me goes out the door. However, when I talk with them, some of the things they say sounds like some of what you said in terms of, well, we got to make it easy for them. We got to, and it's like, but I'm over here bleeding to death. But when you say it's up to us to ensure that they can do something, the black men I know is gonna make it happen. Black men, some of the black men I know, they could pour the honey out of them like we could pour the honey out of us. Ain't nothing like a black man say, "What up, peace, queen?" And you in your stance, you be like, "Oh, hey, king. Hey, sis." Men know how to use honey the same way we use honey. Your car break down and something. Excuse me. Oh my God, we go right to honey. Brother, come. Hey, sis, what you need? I'm coming to save you. I love that. I think we all have those tools. I just feel like if we could talk more this is what we could do together, and this is the part I would be responsible for.
I hear what both of y'all saying. Ro knows.
You always hear both of what you say. No.
Yeah, no. I'm a Gemini, but I do.
Tamika said that's so true. Go ahead.
But I do tend to see both sides. I hear what both of y'all saying. I hear where you coming from, and I hear where you coming from, Ro. So with regard to what you said, I really, really do believe, and I know Ro and I differ about this, and this is my queen, and I love her.
That's right. It's my sister right there.
But I really feel like women, we set a tone. We have the power to set certain atmospheres.
I agree.
And, that's a lot. That says a lot. I'm not saying that men don't have the power. Heck yeah, they have the power. Hell, we give them the power. So, willingly. So I'm not saying that they don't, but we definitely do create atmospheres and set tones for different things. But I get what Ro is saying when she says that the black man is responsible for his actions, and he should do what he is supposed to do, whether or not we are allowing that, and I put that in parentheses, that or not. So I do see both what y'all saying.
I get you. Go ahead.
It feels like it's like what came first, the chicken or the egg? That's kind of what it feels like in this conversation.
Oh, break that down. What does that mean?
It means that, well, who's gonna be the leader of the pack? Who's gonna set the standard, the black woman or the black man? And I hear you're saying both, right?
Well, get in where you fit in, though, if there's a gap.
But I get what she's saying, the chicken and the egg. I totally get that. But I'm not sure if you really have to have a leader in the sense that we learned about leadership.
Yeah.
See, some of this we cross over into other people's ideas of what a man and a woman is, because as descendants of enslaved people, we didn't have the right to carry over in our everyday life through the enslavement period our way of thinking and doing. You get what I'm saying? So then we adapted other people's things. That's like every time I see the black man, Bill Cosby, trying to do what white men do, it's like, dude, but at the end of the day, you still black, and people don't see you like that. You don't get to, Weinstein. We up here comparing it. They gonna go after him and not the Weinsteins. But dude, this is their game. Now that Bill Cosby was trying to live in more of a balance and wasn't shunning what he really was, then the situation would look different. I'm just saying. I think what I'm trying to basically say is I think that black men they're not a monolith either. I really believe, I would like to know how many of those men had strong fathers and healthy fathers and good relationship with their fathers. Because usually men who I know who have strong dads, they talk about their mother, but they also lead a lot from their dad. Everything is like, this is what I learned from my dad. This is what my dad showed me. This is what I went from my dad. This is how my dad showed love. This is how my dad interacted with my mom. That look very different than a boy who's raised by a single mama, and everything with him sometimes can be a little bit more emotional. You know what I mean? And so he's not able to always think like, the way you will learn from a male. See, I think male and female have different energies that we put into human beings or wherever we are in our environment. But I think sometimes we don't leave room for that, which is why I think we're in such, I see a lot of emotional boys. And I'm not saying, oh my God, people don't get mad at me. Women, sometimes we are emotional. Yes, we are. Yeah,
I know I am.
Yeah. But I feel like that's why I think when you look at some of the violence in our community, you get to digging in people's backgrounds, and you don't see a lot of strong men there teaching them like, hey, young man, you ain't got to kill his brother. Maybe y'all going heads up with your heads. And whoever wins. I'm giving an example. I'm not saying that's what you're supposed to do, but when I grew up, that's what people did. They went toe to toe, or but fathers took care of that. Your mama wasn't out there like, don't be hitting my boy. Don't be, it was like the daddy gonna go handle that. I'm gonna have a seat. But if you don't have that, you know what I'm saying? It gets kind of, and our community is not like any other community is what I come to understand, really. I mean, we have so many different identities. Jesus Christ. What was you going to say?
All I'm saying, I know the topics are bouncing around and around.
That's okay.
And there's not, I'm saying from a holistic point of view, let me back up. I'm a social worker, so I just want to let you guys know I have a mental health degree, master's in social work. So I'm coming from a holistic point of view. So I'm saying as soon as I got in front of those areas in my life, in front of my finances, paying out $25,000 in debt in a year, in front of my sexuality, being abstinent for a year, in front of my spirituality, you know what I mean? Like, as soon as I got in front of those other areas in my life, I realized that I was the key to healing myself. Therefore, I could be the key to healing other people, helping other people heal themselves, and attracting that black man that I deserved and needed to help me on my journey. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not really talking about being a single mom. I'm not really talking about, all the shootings over here. I'm talking about one person owning their shit, owning their life, and getting in front of every area.
So what you're saying is basically how water seeks its own level.
Right.
And so you're saying that you're trying to be what you're trying to attract.
Correct.
I get that.
That makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
And you know what? You just cleared up my thing. You just made a total I statement. So when you say this is what I'm trying to do, that don't include me.
No, it doesn't.
You know what I'm saying? But when you say the black woman, I'm a black woman. So now I have to say, well, that ain't my stuff. That's your stuff. Exactly. Because it does come back to the I. Does that make sense?
It does.
Right there, I'm with you then.
So what has helped me was all those things that I've done.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Up.
That makes sense. So I guess what I'm trying to understand with the black men that you interviewed who are not a part of the normal or the stereotypical five, what are you hoping that we will gain from just listening to them? And you're saying, one of the things you said, you hope we will gain that we should, I don't get your words messed up. What it's translated to me was that we have to, I don't want to say make it easy, when people hear certain words, that we have to do something for them to be able to allow them to do whatever they need to do.
We have to understand our power as a woman is what people view in my interviews. They'll be able to understand that they actually have more power as a woman than they think. And that the man wants them to utilize that power, and they desire for the woman to have a fucking backbone. Excuse my language.
No, she.
No. I'm okay with that.
No, she's totally with that.
I'm so cool with that. I think the only thing I'm gonna challenge in that with you is to say some. Because all black men are not attracted to the same black woman. We have classism, we have
I get
colorism,
that, yeah.
we have a lot of we do as black folks. So I remember being growing up in the 80s, listening to hip hop and listening to conscious hip hop. All the girls in the video, they was talking about black power. None of them was dark skinned. Mm-hmm. So to sit up there and be like, well, black women, they ain't even looking for her. They looking for Halle Berry. So I feel like that's why I always say stuff like some, or it's been my experience. Because some black men say they're attracted to black women, but only if you come looking like a white woman. But they don't say that.
Well, that's for them.
No. But that's a part of
collective. It is a part of it.
It is a part of it.
Once we start breaking down those barriers, we can come. I believe if it were in my mind, in my world, we can come to a space where we are the dominant culture in society, which we already are, but we're winning. Like, everybody is winning. We don't have all these classism, racism, all that shit. Like, I'm not even worried about like the masses. I'm worried about one person teaching one person, helping them heal. They can heal. They can create children that will be healed. Like, changing. We may not even make it as a generation. We may not get to see the fruit of our labor.
Right on.
You know what I mean? Like,
we
have to be okay enough to heal as much as we can heal, so that we can bear children and teach them and grow them up in a healing space.
Right on.
Does that make sense?
That totally makes sense.
Okay.
I don't disagree with that. I just know, and maybe it's because of where I've been. So for me, I've just been a world traveler, and I've also built a lot of things that people can use. So I never did something that was just for me personally. Everything I've done in life had benefit other people. So for years, I worked to make sure black women had healthy babies and had options to do whatever it is that they want. I built clinics in Honduras, spent a lot of time in Cuba. I mean, I've been everywhere, all over Africa. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, I always look at how is this going to help us? And what I come to learn is that there are probably more sums, because black folks is not a monolithic. And so I feel like sometimes when we do this thing about if black women could just own their own shit, that's all the black women I've ever known. See, I didn't grow up with black women who did not own their shit. I grew up with black women who owned their shit and everybody else's shit, because that's how America was built. When you even go back into slavery, the black woman always tried to like save herself, even though save herself and her kind, but also was forced to save other people's kind, like in breastfeeding. You know, you have to breastfeed your man. And I always go back to that period, because I think that's the period we want to fly over. See, to me, healing is not this flyover experience. It's just going through the goddamn mud experience, because that's where the pain really lies. And we do a lot of surface stuff. Like, for instance, in my own journey to healing, I had to really look at some stuff. That is not some stuff I got from white people. It's some stuff I had to do with myself. I had to go to those painful parts of myself that wasn't easy. I had to look at things that I did not like about my own people that pained me so. So I didn't have to sit up there and act like, it doesn't matter if we have classmates. Yes, it does matter. It does matter when black people have more degrees than any other group but don't own shit. That matters. We don't own a clinic. We don't own any kind of institution. We don't own supermarkets. We don't own banks. We have like maybe 5 banks, and Latinos got like 50. Like, that says something to us. But when you look at us together, education-wise, we have more degrees damn near than any other group that's here, except for the white people, because they made up the stuff. I feel like we really struggle with this thing of, like, right now we're in a time, I call it the time of the generic healing. Everybody wants to be a healer, but nobody want to do their own healing. But they won't go around and be like, I blow on you and you're healed. And
you
Jesus,
definitely got to do the work.
Like in Nigeria, they built the biggest statue to white Jesus on the planet. I'm like, are you kidding me? When all the ills we have, I'm just saying, in their own country, but you're building some big ass statue to the people who came and messed your whole country up. And why some of us over here sitting over here with Nigerian DNA, but can't even get back to Nigeria because we don't even know why. So I feel like it's just a lot of, I'm always appreciative for studies, because to me, when I hear your stuff, I hear a study. That's like when we sit down with white people and they study us all the time, and then they kind of tell me what my outcome should be, and I'm like, dude, that's probably true in your research, but that's not true for me, because I'm the damn outcome, and I'm not in your study. That's all I'm saying. And so I feel like at the end of the day, I want to hear some stuff from black men like, this is what we're going through as black men. I love Tyler Perry, but I hate that he don't do films about black men. Get off my titty. Go tell me about the black man. Tell me what he needs. No, I'm serious. One day I really want to hear from black men, but not from the, because I don't think they're the most marginalized group. I think it's the black woman. I'm just being very honest, because that's been my experience all over the globe. Black women are the backbone, but it hasn't been a beautiful backbone. It's been like my back is broke. I've been in the jungles of Honduras where black women get up in the morning and cut wood down in the forest, and they're carrying wood all on their back and head, and the men are out fishing. What kind of shit is that? But the native indigenous people in Honduras, the women fish and the men do the heavy lifting. Something's wrong with that. They're living in the same village. Why is the African man on the boat fishing and the black woman up here carrying wood and busting up her whole back? And why don't we talk about that? Because we're in love with carrying. I'm not in love with carrying a race. I'm in love with balance. Yeah. I'm in love with pure balance. If we are to be together in the form one, I'm in love with balance. I'm not in love with traditionally the black woman being everybody's damn floor. I'm not in love with that. I'm not in love with that.
I hear what you're saying, and I hope you hear me when I say that's not what I'm saying.
I think what you're saying is you went on a search for yourself. You got a bunch of degrees from white folks. Then, I'm serious. I mean, because that's what people do. There's nothing wrong with that. When you don't know, you read, you study. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then from there, you won the interview because in your life, you were lacking something.
Match up, right?
Yeah, but you were lacking something, because people only go searching for things when they're lacking. If you're full and hungry, you don't go hunt. Because you're full and hungry, but if you're you're full, but if you're hungry, you realize you have to go hunt. So then, when you realize you were lacking something, you interviewed a bunch of black men who you consider not to be the 5 stereotypes, and I totally get that. Yeah. But even in doing that, I'm just curious to hear how did their struggle lead back to your struggle instead of hearing what is really their struggle. Because that's what I don't hear. It's not, because if it's going to come back to me, it's like, this could be any other black man on the street. Because you know what? That's what the hustler would say. That's what the athlete would say. That's what the pimp will say. All of them would say, somehow it's about us not owning our power.
Oh, I hear what you're saying now. Sorry. It took us a while to get to
Because to me, that means that they're no different then. Because I'm thinking I'm going to hear something different. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
so, okay.
Help me out.
Yeah. So you're saying that when I interviewed them, they pretty much said black women need to...
Because you said, that's what you said, own our power.
Own our
but
power.
I want to know what's going on with them. That's like if you had to sit and talk to your dad that you didn't meet. Yeah. What would he say to you about why he could not own up to his responsibility to be there for you?
He would probably blame it on someone else.
But what if he's like in his real truthful self, like for real, all the BS aside, when I look at myself?
He would say he was a piece of shit and he wasn't good enough to be my dad.
Okay, and then you would say, why you thought you wasn't good enough to be my dad?
Because he probably didn't have a father that was good enough to be his dad. So you see the generational stuff.
Well, no, that's an excuse too.
I mean, it's
because a lot of women.
The insidious thing about excuses is that they
lead to more excuses.
But they're real though.
They are real. They are real.
Valid.
But at the end of the day, after you say I don't have my dad, I didn't have my mom, then you have to, because there are some people I know men who did not have their fathers, and because they didn't, they made a vow, President Obama being one of them, said that he would never leave his children when he decided to have children. Right. That's a little bit deeper than I'm just going to blame it on my dad not being here. It's like I studied, I tried to hang in there. I've heard men say, your mama was tripping, so I would see you at school. I worked all around your mama because that was her stuff, but for me, I needed my child to know me. And
everybody's walk is different.
Well, now everybody's walk is different. That's the next line. But I'm saying to you, I'm asking you to dig deeper and not go for it. Because when I work with people, I don't want that surface answer. I want that. Let me think about that, sis. We just did an unmasking in our class. It was hard for these are powerful black women. It was hard for them to cut past that surface. But once they went in that well, they were able to see things about their own reality. It was so connected to that deep-rooted pain. Then it was like, man, you know, it was hard, but once I got to the other side, I had such insight, and I want my child to know this part of my story, so as she grow as a woman, as he grow as a man, they can see that their mom was human. She just didn't have the cape on, but she was dealing with some real internal stuff, and I don't want them to go down that road. I don't want them to say, somebody said I wasn't going to be nothing, and I believed it, and that's why I didn't show up. It was more like, no, I had to fight. I had to really ask questions about my parents that I didn't want to have to ask. You know what I'm saying? To make it through. So that's all I'm saying. I'm saying for me, the surface stuff, boom, I'm so used to that. Now we're at the time where you have to go deep. And deep where it's not the pleasant, and I may look kind of funky up in here. we was up in here crying and everything else. We were crying on each other.
I could attest.
And it was
I could
such
attest.
empathy. It was such empathy because a lot of us had the same exact stuff. Even though some of us were sitting over there with PhDs, some of us ain't been to college.
Oh no, that was great.
It was a great
equalizer.
Yeah, it was just kind of like all of these are just paths, but at the root of what starts us on our path is pretty much the same. Human beings have to have food, clothing, and shelter, but they also got to have nourishment. They also got to have emotional, available people. You know, they got to also have the ability to be touched by people, not in a negative way, but you know, getting those good hugs and all of that adds up into there. But sometimes we don't like to talk about that because we have to put the mask on because we feel like that's going to protect us, but the mask sometimes kills us.
The mask kills. I can attest to that. What I found out doing the masking, and not that you asked me, but just to tell you, is that I found out I was sad. And I have been masking. You know, I'm walking around like, oh yeah, everything is good, everything is good. But when we went through that masking, this is a leadership program that Ro runs with 2 other women. The healing work that we did, it really cut below the surface. So yeah, that was.
So besides that, what else did you find? You did.
And we got comments.
Okay, go ahead, get your comments. That's her job is to be on those comments because I'm over here inviting people.
Yeah, because I lost some, but I didn't want to interrupt y'all.
No, you sure? You said we got questions. You got jump in.
Okay, so Vanessa, yes, black women have carried for far too long. Balance. And so Yay says exactly. Tamika Joy says that part. Yay says, oh God, see, I lost it. In love with balance, yeah. And so then Tamika is speaking to you saying, or would he say he was scared and didn't feel that he would measure up?
Now that I can take. Cause that's an I statement. I mean, I'm not saying, I don't know how you feel about it, but what you think?
Well, I mean, it's a possibility.
That's all right, go ahead.
It's a possibility. No, I think he would just say he was a piece of shit. He was on drugs in Oakland, and he just didn't have the mindset to, you know, raise a child. And it is what it is. I mean,
I get that. I'm just saying in terms of because I think when people get those kind of answers, it's not exciting. It's not.
Well,
not to say like
exciting
exciting,
about
but
it.
no. But some people like this is the black woman. It reminds me of Shiraz Ali's book, The Black Man's Guide to Understand the Black Woman. I don't know if y'all remember. See, y'all not the same age. So there was this woman. She was a Muslim woman.
I'm not the same
she was
age
in the
as
nation.
us.
Yeah. Oh,
She
it's like you my age. You my age.
She's
I'm
a
sorry.
young woman.
Do you
who
remember
got
her?
Whole life
You remember her?
Yes.
So it was this black woman. She wrote this book. Had everybody mad as hell. Black men were celebrating it because she was like, you gotta slap your woman every now and then because the black woman got too much lip. No, seriously.
Really?
Yeah, but the black man was like, I don't think they understood that. Probably they was just like, somebody hears us, you know. But it's like, yeah, she went overboard. But also, it was kind of like that because that book was out. If y'all out there, y'all remember Shiraz Ali?
Yeah,
and
her
book,
lectures are out there. She on Hidden Colors.
She's a trip.
Hidden Colors?
That's a whole nother story. But what I'm saying is, for her to write a guide to black men, but only talking from herself, and maybe she does need a smack. No man need to hit me. But some women do like that stuff. I'm not one of them.
Yeah,
I'm
some
just
women
not.
do like
But
that.
to each his own, as we always say. But it was kind of like, wow, this is very interesting. One of the things her book did do in some circles, it did start black men and black women to talking to each other. Well, we kind of had fell off. But some of the stuff she talked about had to do everything with culture. And what I didn't see in the book was any ownership on our behaviors. Mm-hmm. That's kind of like when somebody gets pregnant and then they're like, hey, you know, I'm pregnant. It's like, now you knew if you was having sex without a condom, you was going to get pregnant. So go on and take some ownership. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of, I mean, it's that simple to me, like in terms of like when you own your own stuff, but it's really hard sometimes for people because then you have to stand in your own, it's like saying, well, I did that. You know, my mother used to always say, you know, I'll take a lot, but if you don't own your stuff, you know, like it doesn't get better because you'll be back at this conclusion again.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So yeah, black men, they do own their stuff in my interviews.
Okay.
Just
How
let
they
you know.
own their stuff? I like to hear some of those eyes.
Mm-hmm. They, I had one guy who, he was a serial cheater on his wife. And he said that he just didn't, he was taught, and I know you don't like this, but I mean, it is what it is. He was taught by his dad to be a serial cheater. So he was shown that. So he gets into this marriage and he's cheating on his wife. You know, and they work through it, but they're still working through, but it's just one of those things. I had a man tell me he did leave his kids, and he left because of, you know, situations with the mom, he wasn't able to really get their relationship together. And so he said he'd rather not deal with the kids because the baby mama was crazy. And she was vile and toxic. And so the interviews are not really for understanding the black man. It's for black women to get a different perspective on the black man. It's for them to see like a positive side, but also to understand that black men have feelings too. Black men go through shit too. Black men, they grieve, they mourn, they journey as well. And so it's to I guess put black men in a tangible state, because in my opinion, with what I grew up with, the black man was just like some far off unicorn thing. I was like, what is this mystical creature? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so the Understanding the Black Man interviews allows the black woman to see that, oh, black men do bleed, they do cry, they do this, they do that, they do care. That way it doesn't feel like there's such a mystery, because it feels like the two of us, black men, black women, are a mystery to each other. So how do we bridge that? Does that make sense?
No, that makes a lot of sense. I think that makes a lot of sense to an audience who don't know the black man.
Yeah.
Like, I know the black man. I grew up hearing his story every day of my life. I think that's why and I may not be like a lot of other people. My sisters, we're all like that. All my sisters have sons. We grew up, my dad, we have brothers. I grew up with, Dr. Collett was one of my mentors. I mean, he's a real black man. So it's kind of like, for me, because I know the black man, I don't probably need to hear some of that stuff because I know his stuff. But for a black woman, like for instance, even in our class, we have black women, and I grew up around black people, period. And one of the things they said they was looking for was to be in contact with other black people. Mm-hmm. Because in our need to try to make ourselves safe and to get ahead, some of us still think that being with white people, I mean, you'll get the best of everything, whatever that is, schooling, supermarkets, fresh fruits, whatever. But the most thing that we need in order to survive is our connection to each other and understanding each other. So I can see for those black women who, and black boys maybe black boys need to hear from black men. Because I hear that a lot. Well, jump into the comments.
y'all.
You want me to help you? You got it. 'Cause I can
So
still
Danielle
see your
said, so Danielle says, good morning, Queen. Jennifer Wellington says, absolutely. Tamika Joy says, we must be careful not to take another person's or society's perception of an individual. Ask, listen, and learn.
Right on.
Tamika Joy Wilson, he allowed that to be his excuse. Those are excuses. Tamika also goes on to say, I'm with Ro. They are feeding you excuses and you are taking it as bond and not digging deeper. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I respect what you said. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, I respect what you said,
even
too.
if she disagrees.
I know. Y'all know me. I respect what you say. I just don't know if that's what sister is doing. I don't know.
I mean, it doesn't really matter, to be honest with you, because everybody has their own opinion about it.
Mm.
I mean, and go ahead and go to my page and look at some of the past interviews.
What's your page? I'm putting it on here because I'm gonna check that myself. What's your page?
It's actually UTBM, or Understanding the Black Man.
At it's on Facebook.
It's on Facebook. If you just tag me in this video, and you'll just see all of everything.
Okay.
And there are some surface conversations, but I mean, there's some deep conversations that happen as well. And everything can't just be like...
Understanding the black man?
Yeah, Understanding the Black Man.
Okay. I'm just trying to find it on here. Okay, I'm going to find it. No, that ain't... This is coming like fashion or something.
Yeah.
Okay, what if I spell it out? Okay.
If you just Understanding the Black Man.
Okay.
Another thing is that I wanted to help, black woman, not the black woman.
You can say some. You can say some of us.
Some black women.
Yeah, I can take that.
Yeah, we be getting all politically correct.
I don't think it's politically correct. I think that we have to stop thinking we're monolithic.
I hear
because you're saying that like all black women don't understand black men, when some of us been riding with this man since we got here on the slave ship. And some of us is like, I ain't riding with you, and probably are like you, who's like, I don't know him, I didn't have a dad, and I'm saying that because all of that is you can't make your experience the woman who had her dad be the same experience, because obviously it's not. So that's why I say some, but it's not politically correct. It's like I'm speaking directly. It's like trying to sell a white woman a black woman's hair weave. She don't wear weave.
She does.
Right. I mean, no. The ones I'm talking about, the long flowy hair already, she's not going to be wearing our weave, is what I'm saying. So I just feel like when you really look at it, it's great to speak directly to that target audience. And I think that we have to look at black people as such. I know we want to be this one big unifying race, but it doesn't work that way. I've been all over the globe. Every other group are broken into different groups. And it's okay. I think the only thing we have to do is to understand each other, respect each other, and know when to be like, I'm good. Some people smoke. I don't smoke. So they know when Ro come, they don't smoke. Because Ro don't smoke. I can respect that. If they in the backyard smoking, I don't go out there. I stay. So I think it's a respect. It's not saying all black people smoke. We got to learn how to respect each other and not ask other people to do that for us, but which we don't do for ourselves. That's all I'm saying, sis.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. But go ahead.
Okay, I forgot what I was saying.
No,
So
you was basically saying about why you did this interview.
Yeah. So thank you. So some of us need to see a different side. Some of us need to change the way that we view black men in society, because what they're being,
I agree with that.
What's being shown in the mainstream media is like, we went back to the 5: the drug dealers, the pimps, the athletes. You know what I mean? Like, just the people that really are not doing much. And I wanted to help some black women rewire their brains and rewire how they view black men for the positive. And that's another reason why I started Understanding the Black Man.
Right on.
We're gonna do Understanding the Black Woman too. That's also been up for discussion. So what else?
So question, and understand the black woman, do you need to understand her? If you're one.
I think I need to understand the black woman, because I also struggle with relationships with women, and particularly black women.
Mm-hmm. I hear a lot of women say that. I hear a lot of women say that they get along better with men. I'm talking about in platonic situations, and I come across a lot of women that say that they have a hard time getting along with women, and how we interact with each other and stuff like that. I hear that a lot.
Yeah, see, I haven't, but it's okay.
Yeah, no, I hear it a lot.
That's why I think it's great. I haven't, because again, for me, even in I've never worked for a white person ever. I've always worked for black women. Since I was 18, I've worked with some very powerful black women who built clinics, who did a lot of international work, and I was right there with them. And even though we didn't have, because I look at it like this, no matter, if I can pour extra love and understand the white people, why can't I do that for my own people?
Mm-hmm. And that's what's the beauty about you doing those series, because I think with understanding comes that cohesion that some people lack, some people don't have.
Right.
Yeah. I think it's all good.
I think it's great. I am looking forward to listening to some of the interviews. I listen to a lot of, I'm really in love with the God cast.
Oh my God,
I'm in love with the God cast.
She fell in love with the God cast.
Brand Nubians and Raw Digger. I think it's that balance. I'm a balanced chick. So it's like he has Raw Digger and there's Lord Jamal from the Brand Nubians, and they talk about everything, but it's also in the span of the hip hop community, because they're like legends in that world. But they also talk about a lot of stuff. Lord Jamal says some stuff, and I'm like, what the? But, that's his perspective. As a man, again, I like that he not sitting there like, I don't want to hurt your feelings, Raw Digger. He just be like, as a man, as a father, but I can respect that, because at least he has an opinion.
Yeah.
And he not sitting up there like, whatever you said. No, dude. He like, that's wrong. And then Raw Digger, Chico, they're hilarious. But I like the balance between man and woman. I like the balance. And so I think that's really good.
We got another comment.
Keep the comments going.
So, Colette Queen says, language is so important. Some, not all. We all see life from our own perspective, coming from our life experiences, which is so true. And perspective is real because it's your reality. So I agree with that. And then, let's see. Tamika Joy says, is your research us-based or is it globally? Have you noticed a difference?
Oh, U.S. based.
Yeah.
Oh, U.S. based. Sorry,
yeah.
I'm so used to talking about us.
It's not. I wouldn't call it research. I would call it a journey that I'm just embarking on, and I'm just sharing and interviewing. It's U.S. based. I get referrals, just from people that I know. So if you know anyone that might want to be in a future interview, let me know. Just tag me on the comment. So,
right on.
Yeah.
Right on. That's
So how can we begin to like heal ourselves, our community? How can we get on the same page? I posted a question on my Facebook, and it was like, what are some of the things that we're lacking as a community? One of the things was that we're not on the same page.
I don't think any community is on the same page.
But us in particular.
No, where your people from?
I don't know, bro.
Oh.
I'm from Oakland, though. Originally.
Okay, so where her mama from?
From Oakland and then from Alabama.
Okay, so you go to Alabama. Where?
Okay.
So, what particular place in Alabama?
I don't know.
Yeah. So first of all, in order to get on the same page, you gotta know thyself.
Yeah.
You gotta know thyself. That's if you're into the healing thing. Usually, the first book you get is somebody like Queen Afua, or, you know, and the first question they ask, even in the Nation of Islam, they talk about knowing who you are. Who am I?
So knowing my
What
roots.
am I? That's a part of it. Oh, that's mostly when you said Alabama. Just went to the Legacy Museum in Montgomery, Alabama, which talked about the origins of terror in black folks right out of slavery in terms of all the lynchings that they did, because black folks weren't owned by anybody. So, you know, black folks would stand up for their rights, and they were being lynched by the thousands. And that had it happened all over the South, but Alabama was one of the places that did a memorial in a museum, and then it linked the enslavement period all the way through all the decades to mass incarceration. Exact same system. That's a part of knowing your root.
So when you
For me.
No, I hear you. I'm sorry, you was going to say something?
Yeah, I was going to go all the way left, though. But go ahead.
No, please go left.
Yeah, go left.
I was going to say, I used to feel like it was okay to, like, go all the way to, you know, history and all that stuff, like reviewing slavery and all that stuff. But now I'm in a space in my life where it's like, that shit happened, I get it. I'm going to review it, but I'm not going to sit there and, like, just stew in it.
It's not a stew.
And
it's not a stew.
I want to, like, move forward. Like, what can I do from today?
Sankofa. Sankofa. That's what we all can do. See, you don't even know basic stuff like Sankofa. I'm not trying to be funny. So it's one thing to say that you want to know, like, we have to understand the black man, when you clearly don't even understand yourself.
I'm discovering.
Right, and so my thing is
young,
before you can, but I think when you're asking a question and you're talking to
ourselves.
someone who basically put in the work to really understand what that means. For me, you never say to a Jew, the Holocaust, don't stew in it. That's fuel for who they are, so that would never happen again. Hold on.
I hear you.
Because when I hear black people like yourself talk about stewing in slavery, it's almost, no, it is disrespectful.
Well, no.
No. Yes. It is disrespectful. I'm telling you this. I know you don't, but that's my. It's like saying, how do I go forward when your forward is all the stuff that's backwards? Like, we live in a society where we can't get home loans, where we can't. Other groups are coming here running circles around us, and it's because they know who they are. So they know it's a benefit to make sure Latinos get home loans. They know it's a benefit to make sure Asians, 7 out of 10 homes in the United States are owned by Asians, not black people, not educated black people. Is owned by Asians, 7 out of 10 homes. And so what I'm saying to you, they're building supermarkets, they're building banks. And so they do that because they understand the root, and they're always looking backwards as they move forward.
How can we
comments?
Can we just
how can we all get together? Go ahead.
Okay, leave it right there, and
All
let's
right.
just get these because they'll leave. Okay, so to me, so Danielle says there is a lot of energy
From the church,
from the
relationships
church.
books.
Relationship books are socialization and upbringing to prepare us to understand and love men, black men in particular. Sometimes it seems like there is not much of a focus, vice versa. Why is that the case? Okay, are you talking about there's not a focus on trying to understand the black woman? I guess that's what she's trying to say.
Okay.
And then Colette goes on to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, sis. Colette goes on to say, I just want to be in the same book.
Right on.
Okay, because I believe we do have the same desired outcome. Mm-hmm. We probably won't be on the same page. And I don't think it's a good idea for us to be on the same page, because I think that everybody has an assignment, and there are certain gaps that, people on a certain page can fill, and then there's a certain gap that other people on the other
so
gaps
the rest
can
of her
fill.
comment, though, she said, I don't want to be on the same book. You have your page, let me have mine. We are all different. I think that's a reoccurring thing. Brother Kofi, who is a black man, and I think I know he used to be a Rasta. I'm not sure. Don't kill me, Kofi. He says, I hear you, Sister Ro, teach. Now, that's a black man. But go ahead. Danielle says, correct, not much focus on us as the black women. I'm reading all your comments jump. She said, you're right. As black women, there isn't much. Yeah. So why do you think that is, Sister Danielle? Why do you think there's not a lot of books on the black man? I just know black men tend to do a lot of movies with us as the focus, like Tyler Perry. But I do think, you know, I think there are a lot of books about black women, because in the 80s there were a strong black women's movement here. A lot of them came out of different things like the Panthers and the Nation of Islam and all of those social structures. A lot of them became feminists from some of the reasons we heard today. And then from there, those are the ones who built clinics. They went and did some things in corporate America, but again, there was a divide that happened in that period because crack was there, because I'm a person, I have to go to the root. So crack really did divide our community, to which some of us felt like I might as well just go for myself, because I can't go with you because you're on crack, because you got issues and now you got to smoke some crack to feel good, and I got to feed my babies. So I feel like it's all of those other realities. But again, I also know, going back to that book, thank you, Ia Colette, that I think black folks, we have a lot of different pages in this book, and some of us don't read the front cover, and some of us aren't interested in reading the back cover. So we stuck on page 33, and it's whatever we see in the page in front of it, and maybe the page behind it, I'm not sure. But I just know that I think a lot of us, because I do the road trip every year where I take a bunch of young ladies, we drive the whole U.S. and Canada, I get to see that some black people are doing pretty good. But they're still struggling with the very basic stuff, like owning your own supermarket. We're next door to Mia Rancho. That's Latinos. That used to be Jumbos, then it became Mia Rancho. How is that possible? You know, really looking at all that. Danielle has a comment.
What I'm saying is that no one is teaching, training, and coaching brothers to understand and love us the way we are coached, taught, and trained to understand black men.
That's the era I come from.
I agree.
That's the era
I agree.
I have to agree.
I agree with that. So we got to give her the fan. She
says
says people are, but it appears to be an imbalance. Right. Okay, I agree with that. Kofi goes on to say, I do remember Shahrazad Ali.
Yeah,
you mentioned one of her books. What about the other one? I recall when she came out with them. I'm a bibliophile.
Oh.
You're going to have to break that down, brother. But I didn't. But I didn't bother to buy or read either one of them. They seem designed to make sales, not bring about true understanding between black men and women.
I would agree with that, because she did make a lot of money. She was on all the then TV shows like Donahue and Sally Raphael and stuff like that. So I do tend to agree with that. I thought I was the only one. I think sometimes she appears here and there sometimes. Yeah, but most people don't know who she is, because y'all don't even know who she is. So
I know who she is.
Yeah, I mean, you see him like, is she on? It's like, it doesn't mean anything. It's always for shock value when she shows up.
Yeah, I definitely know who she
I don't know exactly about how do we get on the same page to the sister's question, but I think also just as having just basic respect for where people are. And I think I learned the I statement I said with you, I learned that from an elder. Because when I was in my 20s, I was running around saying, well, we should do this and we should do that. And the elder said, I'm going to need you to make an I statement, because I'm going to need you to own that. Mm-hmm. I think Sister Friend was like in her 60s. Now she's like in her 80s, something like that. And when she said it, it made me stop and really check myself, because I think when you're learning about yourself, we do go to this phase of like, we're all one people. But then I had to learn that we're really not. We're all a part of the same human race. I get that. But I also know some of us are from different tribes. People cook their food differently. I have 2 sisters. We're 3 years apart, all of us. I'm the middle one. We're all very different. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But however, our differences really help to shape and make us be stronger. Because there's some things I'll do that my sister's like, well, I ain't doing that, but you go ahead and do that's your part. And I'll be like, all right. So we figured out over the years, and because we had a mother who had rules like, y'all need each other. Don't let nobody divide y'all. That's how we grew. Even with my brothers, I could be mad at my brothers and they call me right now, what you need? You know what I mean? Even though it's like, I disagree with that other stuff. But I feel like that's how we get to be a part of the same book once again. I just feel like sometimes we really miss the opportunity to understand. I think for me, I did grow up learning a lot about the black man, almost to a detriment. Almost to like, I couldn't really depend on him to show up for anything, because the way I was taught and what I witnessed with him is that he could never come through with nothing. because he knew at the end of the day that somebody was going to take care of it. And I don't think that really helped them be good men at the end of the day. They were just kind of like shells of men. Because after it's all said and done, when you become an elder, you have to talk about how you contribute. And I would always see women who put in a lot of work and men who were sitting there like, well, what we was trying to do, but they never could do anything. But women will be like, we did that, and then, because that's all I've seen. But I also seen women who would never say anything negative about a man, even if it was true. They would be like, you got to understand the black man's struggle. And I'll be sitting there like, shit, we're struggling. Why am I, I'm bleeding to death, and he over here with a cut. Like, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, I think that balance between understanding that black man and black woman, that's a hard kind of balance. Like, it's just, but I do think it's getting easy, because with the young folks that I was with, they really just, some of their understanding was like, I'm hopeful for them. I'm hopeful for them, because I also say you could listen to your elders, take the things that work and throw away the stuff that don't. That's what I did. There was some stuff I learned from elders that I love. Some of the stuff like, I had an aunt who did not believe in letting her husband, no woman can walk through the door first on New Year's Eve. It had to be a man. What kind of shit is that? I mean, you would have better luck all over the year. I don't know who came up with that, but go ahead.
Let me ask y'all a question.
Yeah.
So, back to Queen when she says, can we get on the same page? How can we get on the same page? I just want to ask, is agreeing to disagree, is that enough? And I hear what you're saying, Ro, about young people being hopeful about the young people, because I really feel like they are the ones that's going to bring about the change. But for those of us that are, we're out in the field and we realize that something is wrong and we're trying to make things right, how can we all work together? Because that's something that we're going to have to do that. And not be on the same page and understand that we're not on the same page.
Well, the first one, agree to disagree, that's definitely helping us to become in line. It's kind of like making somebody eat pork and they don't eat pork.
Ooh, girl,
no, I'm just saying, like, it don't mean that you're less black because you don't eat pork. It just means that person don't eat pork. I have a lot of friends who are vegans. You know how hard you're trying to make something with no eggs, no dairy, you know what I'm saying? But they my friends are like, okay, let me at least get a good dish now. I think the effort that we pour into integrating into white supremacy, if we could take a little bit of that and do that with each other, I think we'll be fine. But I also think the Trump effect is making us do it any damn way.
Right.
That's just my opinion. What you think, sis?
I agree with you, actually. Like I said, I think if we all just work on ourselves and we can be okay with agreeing to disagree respectfully.
I agree.
It can't just be no, blowout fight every time we have, disagreement.
Right.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't like fighting. Like, we can talk about it, but none of that throwing shit around and getting violent with each other. I think we have to all come to an agreement that we need each other. I think that's what we're missing, is that we forgot somewhere along the way that we all need each other to go.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as we get to that, it took me to hit rock bottom to be able to understand, even wanting to understand myself. And so I feel like we as black people, from what I'm looking at, I don't know if we've really hit the rock bottom place where we want to say, okay, enough is enough. We got to do something or we're just not going to survive. So,
Dana, what's your thoughts?
I just feel like my thoughts are that we definitely, you already know how I feel. I am very communal, almost to a fault. And so I just know that it's going to take all of us. It's going to take all hands on deck. And I also respect everybody's perspective, which is oftentimes very different from mine, and I'm cool with that. I'm also pretty humble in the fact that I know that I am a student. I know there are a lot of things that I don't know. I know that there are a lot of things that I can learn. And I look for those lessons. I seek them. So, and I know that I'm constantly evolving. So my perspective today may not be the same perspective as last week.
right.
And so, but what I do know for sure, in my Oprah Winfrey's voice, what I know for sure is that we need each other, and we're going to have to rock it out, because we're going to have that same level of unity that that you all are speaking about, that same level of unity that other cultures have, to do what we have to do and take accountability for ourselves and take accountability for our communities. So, yeah, we're not all on the same page, but we do need to be in the same book, and we do need to work towards a common outcome.
Right on. I agree with that. I totally agree. I just think for the people who have been woke and working, help will be arriving. But until then, keep doing what you do. What else you got to say, Dana? Because I just have to say that I think sometimes when we think, because I don't think black folks in general is at a deficit. I just think right now some of us is just asleep. But some of us, when I look at the historically black colleges still continue to exist, that meant that somebody was woke. When I look at people like Mother Hale during the crack era who took in so many children, it was ridiculous. That means somebody was woke.
Right. I was no way trying to insinuate that people were not, or that there aren't people that's woke. I just know, like you mentioned earlier, is that, we need some banks. We need some supermarkets. We need, it's stuff that we need. We got to admit that. There's stuff that we need, and we don't need to be measured by other cultures. We just need to be about our business, and we need to develop a strong economic base.
Yeah. What keeps us, because there's enough of us, we are a world economy. When you look at the black spending dollar, not some of the blacks, all of the black
$1.2 trillion this year. So we went down a little bit.
Yeah. So we know that black folks have capital.
Right.
Why don't we think we should bank with each other? Why do we have, how many black banks we have? I don't know if we was at 5 or 3.
I thought it was 3, but okay, I could be wrong.
Damn, I had it at 5. I was trying to give it.
No, we might be at 5.
We probably at 3. Why do you think that is if we're such consumers?
Why do you think that we don't
have a black bank, or we don't have, I'm going to say we don't have black supermarkets. I'm not including the Africans from the continent. Because this year, even in Elk Grove, they have a black little supermarket. They started with something. So, and all over the country, wherever there are African communities from the continent in particular, or maybe sometimes even from the Caribbean, they have their own mini stores where they buy particularly things from their culture from each other. So they're not in that problem exactly, because they come from a country where black people own stuff.
I don't think that they have the same mindset that we do. I mean, of course, they had colonists come in, and they do have some what do you call them, abbreviations, but I don't nowhere near like how we do. I mean, we're totally. I believe that a lot of us suffer from mental slavery, and I think it's levels to it. And I think that we definitely have trust issues. We have trust issues, between black women. We have trust issues between black women and men. And
black men and black men.
And black
men to work with each other. That shit's been hard for me.
Right, and black men and black men. And we have
we
need to keep our egos in check. And so I think that there's lots of reasons. I don't think there's one reason as to why we can't, but we gonna still have to overcome those obstacles and make it do what it do. If not, we'll still be having the same conversation. Our children will be having the same conversation 30, 40, 50 years from now. And that don't make sense, because we already know what we need to do. We just got to do it. And we definitely know hard. We definitely know struggle. Right? We know that. Look, she's like, girl, I don't.
No, go ahead.
No struggle.
No, I do know struggle.
No, I know. I'm just playing with you. I'm just playing with you.
I think we haven't hit rock bottom yet, like I said.
Ooh.
I think we need to hit rock bottom as a culture to be like, well, damn, where do we go from here? We can't sit no longer, in this corner, so we just got to get up and build. I know for me, that's what helped in my life, was coming to a place where there was nowhere else for me to go. I had to get the work done. I had to make changes in my life. And we are not there yet, especially when we have like the athletes and the musicians and all them. They're throwing money, you know what I'm saying?
They're making it rain now.
They're making it rain. It appears as if we're winning in some areas, but as a collective, we're not. That. It appears as if we're winning, but we're really not.
I agree. I agree with what you're saying. I also think maybe some of the people ain't from my tribe. Shit. I just think the only way sometimes for black folks to make it. I always think about Harriet Tubman. Anybody know me? I love Harriet Tubman. Been to follow the trail on the road. I love this woman. But I also know when she was trying to get the freedom, she wasn't waiting for everybody to feel like they ready to leave. She was like, we's out. Like, you know, and we ain't turning back. You didn't get, we don't all start off together and then you get tired and take a seat. She like, well, you're going to have to, they say she didn't kill nobody, but I think she did. I think somebody's a tree or a bush today. Because we have to get somewhere. And so that is a sacrifice. And I think that, and I get what you're saying, because a lot of those black athletes came out of black women. Not trying to be funny, and some of them came from single parent households. I'm just saying. So I feel like sometimes you have to cut your losses and just start building. Like you do. You know, it's like somebody running off with your money. It's like, okay, we could cry over, we could just start saving again. Like try again. Because we did have this conversation 30 years ago. But I think a little what's different now is that I think we did not have a 45 then. So we always had, because what happens is that when black folks start getting mobile, and this is what you'll learn, that's why history is so important, when they see us starting to come together, then they throw something in. Oh, let's say crack. They throw crack into the mix. So when everybody in the 70s was starting to love each other and come into the knowledge of themselves, and they was like, oh, we can't have this shit here. Because now they're going to not want to be us, and so the power is in you wanting to be me. I'm the person you want to be. We can't have you being Aisha. Like, no, your name's supposed to be Heather. You know, and no disrespect to any black Heathers. Keep it pushing.
Oh, yeah, no.
But what I'm saying is they always figure out a way. We just have to figure out a way to say, that's a distraction. And I will not watch reality TV shows and spend hours thinking about people who are not even real, who contributes to our downfall, when I see all the people who spent all that goddamn money on the run tour, and they come back to their communities and they don't have a supermarket because those tickets were not cheap. Now, no hating on Beyonce and Jay-Z, because they do stuff too. I know they do a lot of philanthropy after not. I'm just saying, when I think about what we spend money on and have it contribute to us having sustainability, I don't know how you could live in Sacramento and walk down Stockton Boulevard and not see Asian people getting it in and feel like, why we ain't getting it in? That's all I'm saying.
Or go down Franklin and Fruit Ridge.
See the Latinos getting theirs in.
They got bakeries, they got everything that they need, and I just feel, and we're not hating on them. Congratulations. But I really feel like that's why we have to work together. That's why it really don't matter if we on the same page. I think we could kind of get past that part, because we probably not going to get. I'm
focusing on the book.
Right.
I can take the book analogy. That's why I was like, I can take the book.
Right.
Steve Colette says something that makes you should remember. We had many black banks, grocery stores, insurance companies, and clubs, etc. When was that? Before integration. And all we had was each other. That's what I'm saying, because I'm telling you, we really did. Even under the most oppressive of times, you know, all of the black towns that were destroyed right out of slavery, people was making their own way. And they came and, you know, I mean, I read it. That's why I think it's just so important to understand that part. But I also try to fit in with people where I can. Like, for instance, I may not be able to join you over here, but if you got something going over here, I will. If somebody's doing something and they're raising money, I contribute to whatever little bit I got to contribute. To me, it's like that basic. It's not going to be like a grand movement. Like, I love that Mike B or whatever his name was, not Killer Mike, but it's like, put y'all money in the black bank. And him, it was somebody else, Charlamagne the guy, they were challenging their communities. And y'all follow me, put your money in the black bank. I even bank with a black bank in LA, and I send the money out. I never take any of the money out. That's crazy. It's more like a savings. But I'm like, because we don't have a black bank here, I bank with them online. I've always put money in that bank. So I just feel like sometimes we don't necessarily, none of us don't even know the history of that. We used to have that. But if you think history is something that you know, like it's not important, it's extremely important. I think the reparations should never come off the table. I don't give a damn. That should be on there like an ornament. Like, y'all still owe us money. And let me tell you why. Just to have it on the table.
That's a perfect segue.
I think it should not come off the table, but that's just me. Not saying we're going to ever get any goddamn thing.
But you know that's a perfect segue to number 2. Because I can't even believe this.
Okay. Oh, yes.
I cannot even believe that an attorney took the case.
So here's why I don't sleep on people like this.
Oh God! This is about the man
I gotta find
suing the state of Alabama, right?
Yes.
Because y'all listen to this.
Yeah, you got it up. Dana, I gotta get mine up.
Okay, let me pull it. Let me go. Let me get off of here.
So this is really good. And let me tell you, only reason why she's pulling this up, why I don't sleep on people like this, because we say this fool will never be president, and he did. So we don't have a really good track record on what people will get through stuff. But
is y'all ready for this?
Yeah, we ready.
Man sues state of Alabama over document from 1865 giving him right to own black slaves.
Huntsville, Alabama.
Huntsville, Alabama, and Alabama man is suing the state of Alabama over a 153-year-old document he claims entitles him to own several black individuals and their descendants. Can we say his name? His name is Hank Wyatt. He's 53 years old.
He probably got no teeth, but go ahead.
Is suing the state of California. Okay, he's
the state of Alabama.
I mean,
hey,
y'all, I'm sorry.
Okay, somebody coming for me.
Yeah, I have my
I'm gonna
coffee.
tell you right now, we're gonna all be on the same page immediately.
Yeah, we'll get on the same page then.
We're gonna be on the same word.
Is suing the state of Alabama, claiming the will of his great-great-grandfather, William Hugh Patton, has been illegally nullified by current state judges. Hank Wyatt recently came into possession of a document dating from 1865. Oh, Lord. Okay, we're repeating ourselves now. William Hugh Patton, which claims he legally bought 4 Negro prisoners from the state of Alabama.
That's crazy.
But this is that Legacy Museum, but go ahead.
The 153-year-old document signed by the governor of Alabama at that time, Thomas H. Watts, boldly states that William Hugh Patton is given ownership over the aforementioned prisoners as well as to all of their descendants.
People are ridiculous.
Yes, I ain't saying I want those people's descendants to be my slaves. I just want a financial compensation
Haiti.
because legally I own them, Hank Wyatt told reporters. And we ain't saying that we was back there on the field, but our descendants was, and we want legal compensation for that. That's what we said.
So do you know
That's
after?
crazy.
So here's the thing: you know after slavery that those white people, when they lost it, they got reparations. The reparations have been given out, yes, but it went to the people who formerly owned enslaved people. They had to pay them for what they lost.
And you know what, my dad and my
saying,
dad and my
later.
aunt, they talked about that some black people did get land. But a lot of those black people, they didn't know how to read and stuff like that, and they ended up losing it. I'm not saying that happened in the masses.
No, there was. I know somebody, Stephanie Muhammad, her grandfather.
I know
But
Stephanie from
yeah. But none of the kids want to do nothing with it. But we need land. But anyway, Ian Colette said, if you don't know what happened in the past with our people, you will never be able to understand what's going on now. Because here this dude pulled out something back from 1865. That we just got really silent up here.
I know,
like,
because I'm just thinking, yeah.
But the crazy part is, don't be shocked if this man gets some money for this case. Well, I know we're doing the crazy look. We do have 45. We do have some people who believe. Because I also think, I often wonder what happened to the descendants of people who were fighting for the Confederacy. They didn't just go away sleeping. They're rising up now because one of their boys, clearly one of their boys, I guess they think is one of their boys, is in the White House. So they feeling empowered the same way we felt empowered when Obama became the...
How long has
he was going to fix my credit. Like, what happened? No, he was going to fix my credit personally. But I've heard people say that, by the way. They ain't my...
How long has 45 been in? Because I don't even pay attention to him. How long has he been
over
in?
A year, right?
It's only been that long?
It's been over a year.
It haven't been 2 years?
Yeah, it's been a minute. It just don't feel like it's been that long.
Oh,
but
so it's 2 more years to go, huh?
Yeah, he probably...
Yeah, this man might win this case.
You know,
but I want to know the attorney that took the case.
Attorneys will take any case. They, a man...
But they only take a case that they feel that they could win.
Not necessarily. Some of them are not like us. Some of them do shit on principle. White people do a lot of shit on principle. Like the white people who voted for the president took it on principle. Like this man, he wouldn't even give them a job. But because he was a white man and he's going to make America great again. This is West Virginia, one of the places in West Virginia. They're doing worse than they did under Obama. But they still took it for the team because some of them are, my whiteness is everything. My whiteness is more than me not having no dental care, me having no health care.
So are they on the same page or they just subscribe to the same book?
I think they believe in the power of whiteness. Whiteness has power. And if you don't believe that, check out the copy case. I just feel like white women crying will always get them something. If we crying, it's like, what's she crying for? Shit, pick up yourself and keep going. But it was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, even if she talked to him every day and went to his house 17 times.
But she was, her crying. White men do something with white women tears. I don't know. I don't know, but.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know. That's a good one. Jay Rogers, I'm crazy like that. But I just wish everything was like a clear, like, I wish shit was just so, like, if we could just all do this. It's just,
I know.
we have, it's like in life, it's like you're walking through shades and colors. And you could be walking one straight line and the things would just, it's like you're walking in between blades. And you have to try not to get cut. You know what I mean? You like, oh my God, so it's really not that easy. Brother Kofi is saying integration was how our protesting for equal rights was interpreted. It was not actually what we asked for. You're right. I was heard we was asking for equality and not integration, but they got us to think that if we integrate, and some of us still believe that to this day,
right.
If I could just sit next to white people in the bathroom or whatever it is, that somehow I'm gonna get the same treatment, you still would get dirty toilet paper. All I'm saying is, I'm so silly right now, y'all. But I just think sometimes we think if we send our kids to the same school as them, they're going to get the best education. They do, but I met a lot of damaged Negroes who went to the top schools. I'm just being honest. Some of them are dealing with a lot of self-hatred issues. Like, there's nothing like going somewhere you're getting the best education, but you're also getting taught with these microaggressions or big aggressions how to hate yourself and anything that looks like you. And so they come out and then they try to live in the white people's world, and then they're going to try to come tell you about policy, and like they'll go to meetings where they're supposed to be representing black folks, and because they don't like it, they just let white people say all kind of shit about us, and they sit their ass right there and not say nothing. But hey, you went to the best school. In the end, it became another tool to destroy our communities and turned us into perpetual consumers instead of producers and owners. Right on. Kofi is saying. And I said, oh, okay, the link is at the bottom of your page. He's asking how do you share this. And I said it's on the bottom of your page. It's a share button. And sometimes it's on the top of the page. Yeah, I agree, but they give you the part when it start getting dirty. I'm just saying. So I don't know how you feel about that one. I'm just saying keep your eyes open, y'all, because I can see them giving this man some kind of, what is the word I just talked about? Reparations. They will give him something like, we will give you $20 or something, and he'd be like, "Yeah, at least I got." It's just a principle.
So it's a value piece too on our part too.
But it's also the history of America.
Yeah.
You can't ever sleep on the history, and I don't mean to say it like that, but it's always a historical thing to them having to, like even with. And here's the thing: I'm just going to throw this out. Even with Bill Cosby, I mean, come on. What I know is that it was a principle behind it. Why they took it all the way that far. And then sent the brother to jail, even though, because I'm going to come back to that. Some might think I'm supporting Bill Cosby. I'm just saying there is a principle. Yeah, no, I'm saying, but it's a principle in there that is like, Birth of a Nation, and not the one from the day. I'm talking about the Birth of the Nation from 1930 or whatever that came out. There is something in that where, at the end of the day, we're not all in the same boat. Some of us is on ocean liners and some of us is on a canoe. And I'm just saying that we can't never sleep on that part of it. Mm-hmm. And this man may get something. He really may get some money. I mean, we laughing because the shit sounds ridiculous.
No, I am not laughing.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, but it's very possible. And, yeah.
Did we read this comment from Brother Kofi when he said we had a bunch of land?
Nope, go ahead.
Okay. King says, we had a bunch of land up until recently, but instead of selling and putting the money in a trust account, the family members decided to divvy it up. Each family ended up with about $200, while the value of the property in the DMV has gone through the roof. Okay.
I don't doubt that.
Are you right? And then Queen says, what the hell ever made us think that going to an all-white school being bused all the way across the town would be a good thing?
Because we thought it would be better than where we were.
I agree with what she's saying, and I agree with what she's saying.
It makes sense now that you got knowledge yourself.
But but let me tell y'all something. So, I went to Catholic school up until the 6th grade. And then after that, I was bussed out. I didn't go to school where I lived. I went to, it was all white. I probably was maybe like in the whole middle school, maybe it was like 8 or 9 of us. I can tell you I didn't learn nothing new in high school. I slid through high school. I didn't learn anything new because I was still working on what I had learned in middle school. So I want to say that the education, the standard was higher. But I get the point that you're trying to make.
Higher in which regards?
Like I said, I didn't learn nothing new in high school. I skated through high school because of everything I had learned in this middle school. And so in high school, okay, let me put it, I'm sorry, I'm telling y'all information like y'all know.
No.
So in the high school I went to, it was out by Ocean Beach, but I went to school with like Fillmore District and stuff like that. I went to school with my people, put it like that, in high school, right? But in middle school, I did not. I went to school in the avenues, and it was only like about 10 of us. Right. And what I'm just saying is that the educational standard is different because we learned more. We wasn't learning the same thing we was learning at Hunters Point. And so when I got to high school, when I was with everybody, right, when I was with my people, I'm saying I didn't learn nothing new. And yet I was on the honor roll, and I don't even know, and I didn't even try. I was cutting class, smoking weed, but just showing for the test, and that's how I made it out. I'm not saying that that's a good thing. I'm just saying.
No. But what you're kind of making my point of, I get the part that you had lower expectations, and so you just kind of skated by. A lot of us do that. I know girls right now that was in the honor program, and then when they was with some black folks that they wanted to be cool with, they just blew off doing the college prep, and then, but they regretted it in the long run, because I was saying, I should have just been true to myself. We all do that.
No, but that's
what
not
you're
what
saying
I'm
is that
saying.
because you were in a higher education in middle school, you went back to the hood or wherever you went with black kids, and you skated through because white people gave you so much brilliant information, it was nothing to skate past black folks who didn't have it. I have to break that down, because I think like in the niceness, we need to speak in the language that we know that's true. But I will say this, Dana, I know a lot of black people who went to those top schools. A lot of them came back and became drug addicts. I had a whole bunch of cousins who went to the top Catholic schools, and all. I remember all of them. What I'm saying though is what it does to us up here.
Yeah,
it's one thing to pass a bunch of tests on memory.
Queen. I got what she was saying.
On memory, like, we do think is if you're hungry and you have dirty plates and somebody has clean plates, you'll do whatever it takes to get the clean plate. Yeah. But what I'm saying, and that's getting the clean plate. It really messed us up in another area, which is why we have all of this information but can't build one black bank.
Let me respond.
Oh, wait a minute.
Okay, Queen.
Who coming for you?
Colette. Queen Colette.
So
she says, my sister, let me go like this. My sister, in middle school, what did you learn about yourself and your people? That goes for the high school as well, because our people don't teach our own history either. Queen, I get what you're saying. And I didn't learn not one thing. I didn't learn nothing in middle school about me. And I didn't learn nothing in high school about me. And I didn't learn about myself until I got to college. And I'm a college dropout, okay? But it wasn't until I went into the Nation of Islam, really, to tell you the truth.
So you got street knowledge.
I got street, yeah.
You are now witnessing the strength of street knowledge. That's what's going on. But no, here's the thing. I get you, Dana. I just think that again, that's a part of the Jedi mind trick. No, it's a straight up Jedi mind trick, because I hear people say, I went to the best. I'm a Harvard grad.
I wasn't trying to say that, y'all.
Like that, who are Harvard grads.
Y'all know I don't speak the king. Look, I wasn't trying to do that.
But I get what you're saying. Like, even then, it's still a setup. It's all of this stuff is a damn game. For real. And other cultures come here, and because they didn't go through what we went through, they don't even have to partake in the game. They could go build their own little township and be just as fine. Well, we over here saying, please let me in. Yeah. Please let me live on your porch.
Instead of us building our own porch, building our own
And that takes some self-love.
Yeah, you're right.
Beyond the bullshit.
And here's that word. What? Unity. Yeah. It's going to take that.
But unity is an action word.
I know. And so is love. Because it's going to take some love for the build in order to do that.
Too. It is.
It is an action word. I can tell you I love you all day long. But if I don't never do nothing to show.
We say we be in unity, but then you be sleeping with people, man. Not you personally. But I know some
y'all know I ain't doing that.
No. One time, I hear people talk about unity. Sometimes with unity, I can with you, Bicasa, Sukasa. That's the unity I'm talking about.
No, we ain't talking about. I ain't talking about that. I'm with unity and all that.
I mess with that. I know you ain't. But I just, y'all don't mess with me. No, y'all know I'm not crazy. So real quick, I want to wrap up real quick so you can hear the organ coming. We got about 15 minutes for the church to be full blown.
You got to get a
Jesus mode.
tambourine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they got,
Yeah.
No,
You
we
about
just
to
mess
start
it out. They just great next door. But what I do want to say to you, back to the sister about the black men and black women, as we do this wrap up really quick. Hold on, read Kofi's comment. You said if we agree that Bill Cosby was guilty and
Okay. If we agree Cosby was guilty and should go to jail, fine. They want to take all the awards he has given back. Fine.
means
Does that mean all the institutions he donated millions of dollars to are going to give back their millions? I don't think so. Sounds like some real hypocritical BS. Somebody did give a check back.
I gotta tell you this.
What? She had to pull it
I gotta
in.
get the mic in on this. I wish we stopped trying to make the devil human. Like, it's the white man. This motherfucker would give you something and take it back in the same breath. Why are we putting standards on these people? This the damn devil. Like, I think I had to say that to people. They don't give a damn about his millions. Shit, we gave them millions of our blood, sweat, and tears for millions of years, for thousands of years or hundreds of years. And they ain't gave us a check. So why do we ask ourselves these questions when we already know the goddamn answer? That's like when you take a DNA test and you find out that kid ain't yours, she don't owe you none of the money. You better go change your name on a certificate, but she don't have to repay you any of that money. I think sometimes we just gotta get with that's the law until you make your own law. That's all I'm saying. I feel like black folks, we really shouldn't even be focusing on Bill Cosby at this point in the game. You know how many 80-year-old black men go to jail for lesser stuff? You know what I mean? But we give them no time. Is it because he's a celebrity? I'm just saying, I knew that was going to come up, but I don't really give a damn what Bill Cosby's done, honestly, because I've never been the benefactor of any of his stuff. Here we go again, because I'm on a different page. I didn't go to Spelman. I'm seriously. I didn't work for the Cosby Show. I guess the Cosby Show was a great show, even though nobody had no real life problems. Like none of his daughters had sex before they was married, or look at all the perfectness, because it was all bullshit. Because in his real family, he had a daughter that was a drug addict. No, for real. So for me, it's like, why sell me a fantasy? And the man was an actor. And so he put forth an image that we know wasn't real either. I never seen any real life issues on his show. I never seen him and Claire have an argument, and at least at the end of the show they made up. They never showed any of that. So you would think, talk about black male and female relationships, that was so goddamn unrealistic. I have friends who have money and all of that. They have their disagreements, or they disagree on how they should raise their kids sometimes, and they have to come back and find a medium in the middle. None of that stuff was real, because we're really into imagery bullshit as black people. We love supporting fantasy, but not want to keep it real in reality. We need some healing from just fantasy bullshit.
So Brother Kofi says that was a rhetorical question, Ro.
Oh, okay, bro. I'm just saying, I'm so, you know what? Because I've seen so many posts about that, and people calling the women ugly and saying they look like dogs and, all this other bullshit. And I'm saying to myself, we're posting this up, but for some people, sexual assault was a part of their life. And it really messed up how they interacted with the men in their life. That's why I'm thinking, like, even when men think women have the power, some of us, the power got stripped out of us when we were very young. And so even, so it's kind of like all of these other things. And I think what Bill Cosby has done is he made us, some of us as black folks, I posted something that talked about basically if your kid is molested, bleed your child, not the baby, not the man or whatever. And it got over like 250 reposts.
Yeah.
That mean, and so black folks want to talk about that issue, but we don't want to talk about it because some of us may be molesters our damn selves. Some of us may be victims, and some of us just like, we don't want to deal with the shit because maybe it's just too heavy. It's kind of like how I feel when I'm watching something that I don't like. I just turn the channel. I'll be like, fuck it, I ain't got to look at this. We don't want to talk about it. So, thank you, bro. I know somebody's going to bring that up, but, you got to know me. Bill Cosby probably wouldn't have did shit for me. I mean, I'm just saying, or people who look like me. Not to mention this man talked so much shit about black people who were lower class.
Black
and
men
and black men and black women. Because they said we the ones that produced him. Because we were the ones who bought them tennis shoes and, and all that kind. I mean, shit. But hell, he had a daughter who grew up with the best of everything and she got caught up. I mean, she wasn't Denise Huxtable or nothing like that. But,
I'm just saying. So I just feel like with Bill Cosby, I think we need to start looking at our own classism and our own division that keeps us from being in a part of the same book. Not necessarily on the same page, because here's the thing I loved about the Bill Cosby. Now he's going to meet Ray Ray and Mookie and all them men he talks shit about. He's going to have to depend on him for his safety. I'm just saying. That's kind of an interesting thought, ain't it? Because the people you think you're stepping on to get to the top, you will have to lay down with them. I mean, sit down with them at the bottom. And so I don't know how, and I think that's really important. And I also think he says to all the people you talked about in terms of basketball players and all those people, at the end of the day, you're still just a nigga. Don't get it twisted. Just sit the mic down.
But y'all know that's true.
Yeah.
Y'all know that's true at the end of the day. You know, he got all the money and everything. You know they mad at your ass and they want to, like, cut off all your shit.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know about Harvey and Wallstein and all of them. I mean, they guilty, but you know.
And you messing up other people's money, too. Somebody brought that out. You messing up other people's money.
That's why my boy had to work at the damn Trader Joe's. But at least that's a good black man. He went and got a job at Trader Joe's. He didn't hit drugs. He could have did all that. He could have been like, I used to be on top and now I'm a failure. He went and got a job at Trader Joe's. That's what a real man does. He had to provide for his family. Now I hope Tyler Perry go ahead and he says he hired him, put him in some stuff to understand the black man. I would love that.
Yeah.
So, I think Tyler Perry should call you.
Get him to call me.
Yeah, get on YouTube. Get on YouTube, Queen. Do we want to hit number 1? Because that's crazy, too.
Oh, no, because
it's too much?
Yeah, it is. However, as we wrap this up, I really want you to think about some of the takeaway things that you want us to know about your interviews. And let me preface this a little bit. Some of the things that really made the black man very real for you in your interviews around things that you think we will want to know, and not necessarily the 5 stereotypes, but there's things about black men, like they're hardworking, they're family. I mean, sometimes we don't. When people think about family-oriented people, they'll talk about Latinos,
Right.
but I know black folks. I ain't got no money now because I got family. That's 'cause
Oh my God, bro.
No, some of the things, black men are very hardworking. That's for sure. I interviewed a lot of black men who are actually taking care of stepchildren. They don't even call them stepchildren. They call them, no, this is my child.
I know that too.
So that was a good thing. And black men, they care about what their women think about them. They really do. And they're afraid. Black men are afraid.
What are they afraid of?
That's something I want to know.
They're afraid
Look,
of
as
getting
we
shot
inquire
by the
minds will
police.
know.
They're afraid that people are afraid of them because they are a big, tall black man. Like, they feel like they can't be approached.
Say it again, but speak it to the mic. I hear you.
They're afraid of getting shot by the police, number one. And they're afraid that other people are afraid of them because they're a big, tall, strong black woman. And so a lot of them, I don't want to say dumb themselves down, but some of them dumb themselves down. Some of them, have a more like joking approach to life because they want to be
less threatening.
And I didn't know that about black men either.
I can believe that.
Yeah.
I can believe that.
They're just hardworking.
You can.
Okay. I go by T Speaks, TSPEAKS. And I do Understand Black Men speaker panels. We've done one in Stockton. We've done a couple in Oakland. We got one coming up in Sacramento, another one in Oakland. So just stay tuned for that. And thank you for having me on your show.
No, thank you for being under the heat, girl. No, hold on.
Yeah,
so you have the black men what?
Speaker panel.
Do you have any of your dates for Sacramento?
Not yet. I don't have. Dates are still in the works.
So you do them in Sacramento. Where else?
I do them. I've done one in Stockton. So we're in Stockton. We're in the Bay Area, Oakland, Berkeley, all over. We're just building.
I love
I would appreciate anyone's support, helping build a community, understanding each other, understanding the black man.
Right on. I like that. I'm just letting them know, hey, look out for you for that. And then I also put your page.
Yeah.
Link to your page. Sister, thank you for coming on here and sharing that. Any rapid words for you, Dana?
I just want to say, encourage everybody. First of all, thank you for everything, all your support. A Nubian Family Beauty Supply. We appreciate you. We're coming up just in a couple of months. It'll be a year for us. So thank you. Also, it's going to coming up on 4 years for the African Marketplace. So thank you for your support.
4 years?
Yes.
Wow.
In January, we have been building together, all of us, not on the same page, but in the same book for almost 4 years. Also, we got a couple things coming up. October 6th, this Saturday at the African Marketplace, from 2 to 4, we're going to have, we have a lecture series, literacy series, and myself and Crystal Bowl Books, we're presenting, and the African Marketplace, we're presenting Monique Smith, also known as Mouthpiece. She's going to be talking about what are you thinking about, and how our thoughts have power, and how our thoughts work and manifest in our lives. So come check that out. Also, this Saturday, it is Wakanda Day at the African Marketplace. So you want to come out and enjoy. We got businesses opening up, and some businesses are reopening. And so just come out and bring your family and friends, and let's just celebrate each other. There are Black people out here trying to build. So please do that. Also, what else do we have coming up? There's other stuff coming up. The Black Code on October 13th. We'll have Kat Brooks here, who is also running for mayor of Oakland. She's going to be on the panel. Barry Axius and Ra James West is putting that on, and that's going to be here at the building, 2251 Florence Road, from 4 to 7 p.m. They're going to be talking about establishing the Black Code, and there is a certain code that we all kind of need to agree upon and go by. So I believe that's it.
You said Black Friday.
How did I forget? The Shop Black, Build Black, Support Black. It's a movement. It's not just going to happen just Black Friday. We know the history of Black Friday, but what we are trying to do is tap into the spending season. We're going to, this November 23rd, Friday at 2251 Florence Road, we will have Black Friday. We're partnering with Black Sack Econ, also Chris Lodginson with Sack Black Biz, and all of our community partners. We're giving you consumers access to 350 small Black businesses. I'm not going to call them small, I'm going to call them growing Black businesses. And it's going to be a treat, okay? Look out for more information about that. When you get up the day after, and everybody usually goes shopping on Fridays, I'm not going to lie, we probably not going to have 100-inch TVs for $25, but we will have something for you, okay? So please come out and support. There'll be live entertainment, and spend with a purpose. That is the reason for the season. Spend with a purpose, okay?
Right on, Dana. You be having those announcements like the church next door. That's what's up, boo. That's what's up. Okay, family, on Tuesday morning, on Traditional Tuesday, Way to the Path, we'll be talking with another Iya about the Orisha, Yemaya, and Olakun. And so, tune in 7:30 in the morning. You thought last week Sister's Mom, this one is just his mom. She's going to talk to you about the deity of Yemaya and Oshun. Traditional Tuesdays, Way to the Path. All right, family, enjoy your Sunday. They got the beat going, and we get ready to get up out of here. Oh, let's get
No, they be jamming, though. I'm serious, they be jamming. Peace, family. I love y'all. Be good to yourself and be good to somebody else.
Okay, now, RuPaul.